Hello, this is Sam Simon, also known as Dementia Man, with our blog for the week of March 8th. And this is a really special blog. Two big things. First of all, you can see my guest, Michael Herrington from Ways to Wellness. Michael is in the business of producing educational and great material for people with cognitive issues, as well as um, materials for all sorts of places serving and helping people with a cognitive decline. And this week, March 8th, begins International Brain Awareness Month. And we want to be part of that too. uh,
Absolutely.
a little bit to um, celebrate our new partnership, Michael, and um, you know, Dementia Man, people will know they should. Some may be getting this because you guys are going to talk about it too. That I'm a man with early stage Alzheimer's, and my response has been to write the play Dementia Man, An Existential Journey. Um, and in my exploration, I've not had a cognitive disease before. I'm in the learning process too of how to live well with a disease. And I think Michael and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think I'm going to say it right now. When I was diagnosed, the moment in the neurologist's office, the bad news was you have Alzheimer's disease. The good news was, there is good news, it can be 5, 10, or even 15 years before things get a lot worse. Now, we don't know what determines that. Everybody's going to be different. What we do know, and I think, Michael, this will be part of my handoff, is that keeping active, having purpose, exercising the brain awareness month, even with the disease, may help, can help. My response has been, it took me a minute to make this decision, but to write a play, perform it. And I believe, my wife especially believes, Susan, that having purpose and meaning has helped me help stay off or stay slow to some degree the disease's progress. It's progressing, and yet we have this. And I think the puzzles, I'm a puzzle guy. I have new resources now. So, Mike, I want to tell us a little bit about Ways to Wellness and then also how we met. And then let's give people a preview of the product's up now, but we'll walk through the product. Is that a good idea?
That sounds great, Sam. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, I'm the president and co-founder of Ways to Wellness. We started in 2020. And what really drove us was the CDC had reported that loneliness and isolation was the second leading cause of illness and ultimately death in the with the elderly. And that just really resonated with me. And I used to be in publishing and I used to represent the biggest publishers of puzzle books in the world. And we decided to, now the pandemic hits, right? And we're like, wow, do we start a company at this stage or not? And we said, they need us now more than ever because it's going to get real tough. And it did. So that's our why. Our mission is to really combat loneliness and isolation and cognitive decline in seniors with fun activities. And our secret sauce, and we'll show you in a minute, is we customize them for the brands. So we customize these beautiful PDFs for Dementia Man, for Sam. So he's going to offer those to his audience, and we want to encourage as many people as possible to, the caregivers and seniors to engage with these fun activities to really help their minds and Sam, you brought it up, the having this sense of purpose. Finishing a puzzle, there's a sense of accomplishment that just stimulates the mind and also build connectivity with people one-on-one in a small group. So So that's what we do, and we also want to help caregivers too. They have a tough job.
Well, two quick things. I didn't mention it. I'm aware and experiencing the issue of loneliness and isolation. That is also a gigantic issue around people with cognitive decline. And
Hmm.
it is also something that, at least there, I don't remember exactly all the places I read it, but loneliness is a challenge to wellness. That is, it would be true even if you don't have the disease, but with the disease in particular, there is a lot of, in fact, it is the one reason Susan and I, we've been in our house now for 34 years, are looking to possible communal living
Hmm.
because even for us who have been very active in our community and are well known, we have my son, we live in Virginia, we have a son who's a politician. He's a member of the Virginia legislature, and we are feeling isolated in our
Hmm.
home. Why? We don't get out as much. We, even though I do this work, people are a bit more reluctant to be in touch. And again, having done the play and hearing audience feedback, we are not the only ones experiencing that. So I think that um, is really important, and I'm glad that you pointed that out. Um,
Yes, Sam, we have a partnership with a caregiving support network, and it really was stunning to hear that 7 out of 10 caregivers report that they're
them too.
depressed and they're isolated. So it's not just seniors, it's across the spectrum.
It's a caregiver. So I keep remembering a new thing. You know, this is our second time around. My wife, Susan. So I've been a caregiver because Susan, my wife, in
Hmm.
2000 was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. And there was a moment in that journey that the doctors pulled me aside and said, get ready. She is an unlikely survivor. So I've been a caregiver, and there was that moment. So it was very dire. That's my first book. My first play is called The Actual Dance. It was based on my dance, my routine as her getting ready to for what we felt would be her end of days. So I had that, but I now see her role. I see other caregivers, and in this disease, Susan was always Susan when she was sick,
Hmm.
and she could express her own determination to be well and what she wanted and what she needed. I have since learned and believe that for the caregiver and cognitive issues, I hate the word dementia, by the way, but in this disease, is magnitudes of order more challenging than
Hmm.
it is in, as far as I know, certainly other diseases. I'm changing their loved one, if they're a family caregiver or or the spouse, they're caring for somebody who's new and different. And right now, I can be short tempered. There's a scene in my play where I talk that we had to talk to a um, social worker. Susan was afraid to tell me that she'd gotten afraid that I might lose my temper with her to the degree that I might hurt her. Now, hearing
Hmm.
it helped me, but she couldn't, she was afraid to do it directly to me. She insisted we talk to a social worker so she could tell the social worker with me sitting next to her. But I just want to tell that story because there's
Thank
a
you.
truth to what you're talking about, how it's important to care partner, and they need the resources too. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm, I think this is now going to be interesting to people in a
I
lot of
think
these
it's
things.
well, there's 53 million people caring for someone with dementia in the US alone. So there's a real need, and 60% of those caregivers say they don't have the resources. So, if we have a little resource and they're super accessible for people, very affordable, and there's a lot of content, That's what we really want to do. Really want to help the caregivers, help the seniors, and bring those, the connectivity of those two together with the family members.
So let's share the my website. I'm gonna let you do it, and you're gonna walk
Okay.
through some of those things. So you're gonna go ahead and hit your share button,
So I'm going to share your website. Okay.
and because we're it's available now, people. Go to
Yeah, absolutely.
dementiaman.com, and
So
there
let me
we go.
go over here, Dementia Man. So this is Sam's website. Let's just go right there. It is.
Yeah,
So if you go to Sam's website, and this is the announcement of our partnership. This just went live, what, Sam, last week?
yeah.
Or, yeah. So this announces a partnership. We produce all of the content and we focus on, again, the benefits of, enhancing mood and well-being and improved cognitive function, making stronger social connections. This explains what our partnership is all about. We have a sample here. If you click on this, this is just one publication. We have three that come with this subscription to Sam's publications. And I'll show you an example of how we branded it for Sam. So we really want to help Dementia Man get his word out and expand on his cause too. I mean, that's a primary goal of this partnership. But this is colorful fun, and it's primarily for folks that have early stages of cognitive decline. So we have, mazes. I won't go through every page. It's 32 pages, but you can flip through this and explore. A lot of people love the color. It's very soothing. We produce this actually in landscape because it's easier to print and color in landscape than it is in portrait. And we learned that as we launched, getting feedback from our seniors and caregivers. So this is one example. I want to go over here because we're spending a lot of time, as we should, talking about caregivers. This also comes with the Sam's publications, and you can see it's branded for Dementia Man. But this wellness program guide explains what's in the content for that month for both publications. And this is for the caregiver. So we want to give ideas on how to engage. And this is about 17, 18 pages, but it explains, it's a wonderful guide. These are the themes of what's in. We happen to be covering Virginia, Sam, this month in March. And so we want to have memory joggers. So somebody that might be struggling with how do I engage with my loved one, these give you ideas. You can scan this QR code and it goes right to the Ways to Wellness Spotify. So it's fun music that's linked to that topic of the month. So you can see we have a lot of tips here. We want people to go down memory lane. There's a lot of content here. So this is just, again, these are tips for the caregivers.
And just we call them caregivers, care partners,
Hmm.
love partner. I want to just be a little sensitive to the idea of caregivers aren't all those paid professionals that you think about. They're the people you're living with. It could even be your children sometimes, adult children, or and you may have several. It may be my wife Susan is caregiver, care partner. I call her my love partner. Um, and but my daughter, or even now, we have a granddaughter who's 21. And she may come stay with me for a while. So these could be valuable tools for a wide variety of people as well, not just the person paid to be a caregiver or in
No, it's a great point, Sam. It's been interesting because we deliver the PDFs like we just showed you. You can check them out on Sam's website. You can go to Ways to Wellness and look at them too. But also there's organizations, we publish beautiful print books too, and we customize those for the brand. So they can really promote that they care about their seniors and the caregivers through the printed book too. So we have other options. What we're sharing with Sam in this beautiful partnership is our PDFs that we want folks to really jump into and enjoy.
yeah, no, that it's terrific. I met you and just want to mention this too, because by the
Oh
way, I'm
yeah.
going to be in Sacramento. I think this fall, maybe. Oh no, in August. Oh, remember. Um, for
Yeah.
the California conference annual meeting of California Association of Adult Daycare Providers. And you and I met in Atlanta at the
Yep.
national conference for adult daycare providers. And it's worth giving that resource a shout out too,
Oh,
I think, because um, the adult daycare providing and provision is really an important and growing
it
uh,
is.
resource in communities. It is a place, and they're learning too, and ways to wellness. I think is one. There's several people who sell to them, but I think the adult daycare provider. I've seen it in my community. The adult daycare center. There's one near where we live. As part of the Fairfax County um, community centers, but they have a number of adult daycare centers. It was for a while a place where adults could be with cognitive issues could be placed and watch TV while their caregiver went off somewhere. Now they're much more than that, and they
Oh,
have right. And you may want to. I don't know if you want to talk about that too.
oh, I was invited to join that conference. This is the first conference I've been to in a few years. And we had a booth and I remember Sam walking up. He just finished your show and you came over and you're leafing through one of our print books. You're like, yeah, I'm a puzzle guy, and so it was just a nice connection that we had at the conference, Sam. And you're like, yeah, we should talk when we get back. And we did. And we saw that there's some real synergies here, and we could help with your cause, Sam, and help seniors and caregivers. But that conference was fantastic, and National Association of Adult Care, they're doing great work. I'm amazed at some of the companies that are surfacing. They are revolutionizing. Chris Chana down in Florida, I mean, he's doing great work. Town Square is doing some great things. Elderwell with Kara Harvey and her husband, they're doing great work and they're expanding in this important service, right? And it just to bring people together and to do activities together and to stimulate the mind and have conversations and connection. It's so important.
Yeah, and anyway, I just want to reiterate that I love our partnership, and people can. You have other resources, ways to wellness, but get get the Dementia Man version of things. It helps us. Um, a percentage of the cost of it comes back to us to help keep us alive. We are self-funded, and you can also donate to Dementia Man. It's tax deductible when you click on the uh, donate button. But I'm so glad we met, Michael. I hope we continue to connect
We
and
will.
maybe can do this kind of thing on stage somewhere at a conference
Would
uh,
love to.
to reiterate how important it is to engage in a positive view of life with not one, keeping the brain healthy, which is sort of where you're at, and combat loneliness generally for seniors and aging, but reimagining how people with disease can be fully engaged and have meaningful lives.
Hmm.
And the tools out there, um, doing puzzles is one little thing that can help. So
Cool. And
thank
I
you.
just want to mention, Sam, that your publications to subscribe for a monthly, all those months, it's 17 publications come to you every month via email. You print on location. It's super easy. They come as PDFs, and it's only $9.99 a month. So there's a lot there. We want to make it super accessible for people. So, and we're thrilled to help you, Sam, and we're just so thrilled about this partnership. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank everybody who's listened to this. And happy Brain Awareness Month. So, at any rate, again, thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you, Sam.